Well, it's Sunday, guys, and the majority of people are watching the Super Bowl, and myself personally, I don't care about football, but I care about posting helpful things. And today I'm gonna talk to you guys about something I went through, and it has to do with part of why I kind of wasn't real active for a little bit. A lot of people don't know what this is, but a lot of people will know what it is. Kratom, for example, it's kratom. Okay, it's a plant leaf from southern Asia, I believe, and at different times of the year, the veins in their leaves are different colors, and it has different properties. Well, these leaves are partial agonists of the opioid receptor. They're not near as strong as like a prescription opioid or something. It's pretty mild if you take small amounts, and if you take too much, you feel gross. And it's relatively like even if you built a tolerant like a dependence on it, it's shown that it's up 10 days is the longest withdrawal period that ever has been known. And my pain was so bad I was bedridden. I was literally like a year ago or something, year and a half ago. It was to the point where I would cry and I couldn't do anything, and I couldn't even sleep. It was horrible because my body started moving and back where it should be from using the X3 and doing some like balance work and stuff like that. And then going to assisted stretching and special chiropractic and doing special movements, everything just started coming out like 20 years of damage or more, probably clear back to my teen years, right? And it was so severe. I'll draw a chart for people of one time and show them in a little while. The pelvic bone had tilted all the way forward, which collapses the lower back and pulls the spine forward from the muscles that run up the inside of your groin. They actually attach to your spine and pulls it forward. So it looked like I had a gut almost because my stomach was pushed out. And then, so then your upper back has to round in order to bring the rib cage back over the hips again. And then the neck actually kind of goes forward and buries, right? And then I had a bad car accident where I really damaged my neck. And my left shoulder got to so bad that my left tricep partially tore. And my left hand, it got like the tightness ran down my arm to the point that the muscle that runs over runs inside of your thumb, part of that ripped off. And so when all that stuff started coming out from 20 some years of accumulation, the nerves start feeling shit they never felt before, and everything's tearing loose and tight and popping and cracking and snapping and whatever. And I'd bear through it, and the further through it I got, the more it fucking hurt. So I tried the kratom, and it like took about 80% of the pain away. So, and you might think that you know where this is going, but kratom wasn't the issue. I could go without kratom for a period of time, and the withdrawals weren't too bad because I'd been on, dosing like 3, 4 times a day for a year. And well, there's one chemical, there's, all these different, what they would call extracts, right? In the plants. And the different extracts do different things. And there's one in there that's there's a very small amount. It's called 7-hydroxy. Well, it turns out 7-hydroxy is 13 times stronger than morphine. Okay? Somebody, as long as the laws were still, it's coming from Kratom, somebody found out a way to either synthetically make 7-hydroxy or they found a way to extract pure 7-hydroxy, which I'm thinking they probably took mitogenine. Mitogenine is the main ingredient that like kills the pain in kratom, but 7-hydroxymitogenine is 13 times stronger than morphine, right? So I had no idea that and the guy at the store is like, here, try these. Everybody says these are even better. So I started taking these, and pretty soon I'm taking like 3 a day, and they would instantly kill the pain. You wouldn't feel anything. And then you felt a little bit euphoric and happy for a couple hours. It's fairly fast. But then come time when I had that pneumonia, when I was put out, there's this dumb doctor, when I came to, I should sue that place. They did a lot of really shady things. But the doctor, when I went to when I went to the hospital, did my heart surgery, while you're there, they give you all your meds. This place was like, we don't need to give the meds. I was on 3 different meds that cause severe withdrawal if you just drop them cold turkey. And they wouldn't give them to me. And I'm laying there and I'm like, guys, if you just give me my meds. And, I had gone into AFib, and my blood pressure on one side was 200 over 120. The other side, it was like 120 over 70. And one side of my heart was beating 110 beats per minute. And the other part of my heart was doing 70 beats per minute, right? And I'm in AFib, and because of and they wouldn't listen to me and just sent me out the door like that. Said, you're good to go. And any doctor I've ever been to would know instantly, like you keep the people on their meds when they're in the hospital. These guys are just trying to make a profit. So they don't want to deal with the meds, right? So I go home, I start taking those medications, and then I took a half of 7-hydroxy, and my everything went to normal. And I realized I had become dependent on this, and I had done a lot of research and couldn't really figure anything out. And then I finally found a place that treated people for 7-hydroxy, and he showed me the studies that show that it's 13 times stronger than morphine. And he said they were treating more people now for 7-hydroxy than opiates. So they put me on Suboxone, which is a partial agonist to the opiate receptor. So imagine a receptor is shaped a certain way, and only one chemical can get in there, right? And depending on what gets touched inside of there by what molecule, different reactions happen, right? So the Suboxone goes in, it helps with pain, and it takes the withdrawals away, but it's a partial agonist, so your body isn't going to make more receptors and build a tolerance, okay? But there isn't the euphoric feeling like the opiates. So I feel pretty normal. I feel like myself, but I don't have the withdrawal. And I'm slowly just tapering down on that Suboxone, right? And so I'm warning people, the kratom itself isn't that big a deal, but that 7-hydroxy, guys, I recommend don't buy it. It's more addictive than heroin. So, and the thing is every time I hurt, I took it, so I never knew that I had become dependent on it. I was hurting. I'd be hurting every so many hours to the point I couldn't walk, and I'd take a half of one or something, and until I went cold turkey for a week, and I went into AFib, I had no idea that I built that dependency. So I got a hold of the one person I could find that knew something about, like one place that I could find that knew about 7-hydroxy. And I called there and they said, yeah, it's gone out of control. So, like the kratom itself, I remember I had quit and I had some mild withdrawals for like a week, but then then it just went away, right? Well, the and you can taper down like the kratom. Let's say to take care of the pain, I had gone up to 8 capsules because it's just plant leaf crushed up, right? So you have to, rather than take a big spoonful of this shit, they have it in capsules, and it'd take like 8 capsules of it, and the pain would subside an hour later, and it would last for about 4 to 6 hours. The pain relief, and if you get to once you get to the point where the pain's less and less, you can just take 7 a day, like at a time, and then 6 at a time, 5 at a time, 4 at a time. And so once you're at a couple at a time, you can just drop it, and then the withdrawals are very mild, right? But this 7-hydroxy goes the other way because you're building more receptors and building a tolerance. So it is it almost has to be a full agonist damn near in order to be building new receptors. Okay, because the partial agonists usually don't cause that. So but it's something I just want to let everybody know. A little tidbit about myself. As everybody knows, I don't bullshit. I just say it the way it is. Some people hate me for that. Some love me for that. But, and I'm not afraid to admit anything I've done. So, hiding things that you've done. Are you really being you? Are you being honest with people? Are you being honest with yourself? I'll admit anything I've done. And people can take it or leave it. So, till next time. But I want to talk about some other stuff. As I was working out, I thought about some stuff. I thought I'd start this post first, but I got a lot of other stuff to say. All right, I'll talk to everybody later. God bless. Good night.